Hello and welcome to Chapter Skip. I'm Mark and today I'm doing a quick review of the movie Fermat Room. The movie opens with the line, "Do you know what prime numbers are? Because if you don't, you should just leave now." This had me worried for a bit because I only vaguely know what prime numbers are and I don't actually understand them. Math isn't my strong point, and if I'm brutally honest, I only really know a little bit about prime numbers after my wife tried to explain them to me after we watched the movie The Cube.
This room is green.
Mathematical ineptitude aside, however, I soldiered on and decided that just because I am numerically dyslexic, that shouldn't be the basis on whether or not I enjoy something or even fully understand it. And to be fair, the movie does kind of explain prime numbers right after that opening line, but I still don't get it. Luckily, a knowledge of numbers isn't really necessary for anyone to have when they watch the movie. That would be ridiculous, like expecting someone to have a knowledge of cybernetics before they could understand what is happening in Robocop.
Dead or alive, you are coming with me.
Yes, I do mean the original Robocop. Don't get me started on the remake.
Here's a black robot coming into a room. What should we do? We'll turn the lights off and have heat fucking vision. How retarded do you have to be?
Oh, lungs. Well, they took him apart. They wanted him all human side because they don't want a complete robot. He's a face, some lungs, and a hand. What the fuck has he got lungs?
Anyhow, let's talk about the plot of the movie. Some mathematicians each receive a strange letter with an invite to a weekend gathering with other ingenious mathematical minds. All that needs to be done is to solve the numerical puzzle contained within the letter, which is signed by someone calling themselves Fermat. Those that complete the puzzle are then given details of where to go for the gathering. Once the day of the gathering arrives, the four people that manage to solve the problem meet at their destination, only to find that early into the evening the mysterious Fermat has to leave the group to their own devices, which unfortunately for them means they're now trapped, and the only way to escape is to answer a series of riddles in a set time limit. But that's not the worst of their problems. What's really going to ruin their day is the fact that the room is shrinking, and that every time they fail to answer a question in the given time limit, the walls close in until they meet their inevitable and squishy fate. The tension in the movie is pretty good, as the four strangers try and solve the puzzles whilst also trying to find a way to stop the walls from closing in on them, only to find that they may have personal links to Fermat that might explain why he's trying to kill them. The whole thing is quite engrossing and you soon find yourself trying to solve the puzzles as you get caught up in the story. In fact, I even solved one of the puzzles before they did. Not that I'm a genius or anything, it's just that the same puzzle was in the movie Labyrinth.
One of them leads to the castle at the centre of the labyrinth, and the other one leads to certain death. Ooh.
There's some nice touches in the look of the film, and I especially liked how the pattern of the wallpaper was in fact a diagram of the room that they find themselves trapped in. As the film progresses, the plot thickens as further mysteries are revealed, and ignoring the part where someone is incapable of stopping their car in order to retrieve their ringing phone, the whole thing is thoroughly enjoyable, at least until the movie reaches its climax, at which point a very major plot problem is raised. Now, in order to gripe about this rather major annoyance, I will have to give away a bit of a spoiler, so if you don't want to hear it, turn your volume down now. Okay. So the main problem is that one of the four people trapped inside the shrinking room is actually the instigator of the entire thing, and that they have a secret exit all set up ready for them to make their escape. But how exactly were they going to achieve that goal? Were they just going to suddenly announce to the others, "Oh look, a secret door, I'll just see where it goes," and then disappear through it, never to return? I mean, there was no real way for that person to be able to escape without anyone else seeing what they were doing, which made the ending a bit silly, as if the writer got a bit too caught up in being clever and putting a twist in that didn't really work. And when this is a fairly cerebral movie that challenges you to think and problem solve as you watch it, well, that just makes the ending even more of an annoyance. Still, it is an enjoyable little thriller, and none of the characters became annoying and they all felt fairly natural, with the whole thing flowing together quite nicely. The film is in Spanish with English subtitles, and although I've heard that some people have had difficulty reading the subtitles, I had no such issue. However, I do watch a lot of subtitled films, which may have been a factor on my side. If you can get through the movie without letting the ending bother you too much, then you might find this to be to your liking. However, the conclusion just didn't add up in a way that I found satisfying or logical. Then again, I am numerically challenged, so perhaps there were some subtle mathematical nuances that I was missing at the end. Either way, for me, the movie just wasn't quite the sum of its parts.